Okay, hello YouTube. YouTube. We're fresh coming up with some Tekken 8 news right now. And I'm still here doing speed labs. Of course I am. Why else? Why else, right? Yeah, today we're gonna do Yoshi. Yoshi speed lab. Kazuya vs Yoshimitsu. Thing is, I haven't labbed Yoshi for a while myself, so it's gonna be good repetition for me too. Okay. I think one of the best things, the most important things about Yoshimitsu matchup to know about, 8-hour speed lab. Like, thing is, theirs is right. If I do literally say everything in every setup, most likely it will take 8 hours. But I'll just try to do the most common ones and things you need to know. So one of the most important things about the Yoshi matchup in general is to try not to whiff, because good Yoshimitsu players can whiff punish really easily with back 2-2. Not a lot of Yoshimitsu players do that, but whiff punishing with Yoshi is not that hard because of this move. Like back 2-2 existing with this much range, and look at this, right? 2.5 I think maybe? 2.5, yeah, there you go, 2.5. 2.55. Damn, that was 2.7 or something. Okay, almost 2.7 basically. It has very good range. It's very easy with Punisher. So be careful about whiffing against good Yoshi players. Sometimes they won't do this, of course, but it is a thing. So in the neutral, be careful about doing that. Also, it's very important to know about this stance. How do I go back there? I actually forgot how to go back there. There you go. When the Yoshi player does this, of course they are healing with this, but they're also trying to bait you in. If you try to go in, for example, as a Kazuya player, try to electric it, they do have this option. Not this one. What the fuck? This right here. They can cancel it into down 1. So be very careful when it comes to approaching Yoshi when it comes to that. Like you approach with the electric like this, you might get countered. Or it's gonna whip you get hit by this. So be careful when it comes to approaching Yoshi when something like that happens, right? Because he can also do this, right? Stuff like that. And basically bait you in. But it's also important to approach, it's very important to approach, because you want to stop the Yoshimitsu player from healing himself with this. It is very important. So what you want is to bait stuff out. They might cancel it into a button, like this one. This is the most common one. If you bait this out, or either the 2, you can bait this out as well, you can just whiff punish it, right? Something like this. Wait, let me record it correctly. Like you see that coming, you try to go in, but you know, bait it out with a dash, go back and then whiff punish with whatever. Stuff like that. That's very important. For Kazuya, the whiff punishment won't be that easy to do because mid to whiff punish isn't that good. But you can still do it. Something like backdash attack while staying 2, forward 4-3, stuff like that are like pretty good. Okay. But one of the most important things that I don't see a lot of people doing is this move right here. Hello, bro. Hello. Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do, man. I even labbed Kazuya. Ask me how I felt. Damn. So let's continue. I was talking about this move, forward 4. I think a lot of people respect this move on block way too much. And you should definitely not do that. Because if you do, this becomes very strong. Very strong. If you respect it too much, too strong. So let's talk about this move a little bit. And what it actually does. You never respect that. You're just disrespectful in general, Monad. But yeah, let's talk about this move. So, it's a -6 move. It's very fast. It's 15. It has a lot of range, as you guys can see. It's a forward move with pretty decent range. It's a knee, can't be parried. And it can track your sidestep sometimes because of the forward input. So it won't be that easy to step, even though it's possible to step, right? You can, of course, step it. But sometimes it can be harder to step because of the forward input. But now let's talk about the situation on block. Of course, if you get hit, you get launched into, I don't know, combo, right? Good Yoshi players can do a pretty decent combo from this, so you do not want to get launched. But let's talk about the block situation. So on block, this is -6. So what this usually means, -6 back turned, is that some things are guaranteed. Because it takes time for the opponent to actually turn around with a back input. So if I do a back input, like I just hold back, like jabs are guaranteed, back 1 is guaranteed, 1+2 is also guaranteed, but then down forward 4 is blocked. So this is universal in Tekken 7 in general. If you hold back while you're back turned, it takes 6 frames for you to turn around. 6 frames. So -6, 6 frames to turn around, 12 is guaranteed, 13 you can block. The one exception to this is if you hold forward. So right now I'm talking about in general back turned. So if he holds forward, that's the only exception to this rule, where it takes 5 frames to turn around. But I think for Yoshi in this specific situation, this rule does not apply. But in general, it is something people can do, I mean characters can do. Instead of holding back, you hold forward, it takes you 5 frames to turn around instead of 6. But for some reason for Yoshi, it sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. I don't even know if it works in general, I'm gonna be honest. But if you have a 12 frame mid, that's a guaranteed punish at your part. Guaranteed. Of course highs are guaranteed as well, but the exception to that is high crushing moves from back turn. So if the Yoshi player does something like this, suddenly your highs aren't a punish anymore. Like your back 1 won't work, right? Well, back 1 works, damn. Like 2 won't work. I don't know why back 1 works. Stuff like that. Right? Can you flash your mid? The thing is about this flash right here, it doesn't work that well because it's back turn. See that? Let me try to do it on block. Whoa, I fucked up. Wait. I'm messing up. I have to press just 1+4. Why am I pressing back 1+4? I'm a dumbass. There we go. See that? Because of the back turn, it doesn't work as well. All this is still guaranteed. Still guaranteed. So I was talking about the highs, right? Because if he can't do high crushing options like this, highs are not that guaranteed. What if he ducks? Yeah, exactly. If they do high crushing options like this, or just duck, highs are not guaranteed anymore. So that's why 12 frame mid is your ideal punishment for this. But there's exceptions, of course. Yoshi actually has an option to deal with all that punishment. If the Yoshi player does not high crush, or Kazuya player for example, if he doesn't high crush, 1 to 4-3 is really good. It is really good. Sometimes it gets guaranteed. But they can also turn around, so be careful about that. But 1+2 is like your go-to move. So the solution Yoshi has for something like that, like a guaranteed 1+2 punish or 12 frame mid punish, is his spins. This spins, right here. He can do forward, forward, forward into spin. I'll do the spin. There you go. And this avoids any kind of punishment. So I do this, 1+2 avoids it. Of course, the Yoshi player won't do that many spins, right? He'll do like 1 maybe. To avoid the punishment. This will whiff and you're gonna get punished for it. So that's the option Yoshi has to avoid that. But of course, you also have the option to hard resist and punish him for it. As a Kazuya player, whenever I play against Yoshi players and they realize to do this, whenever I start punishing that, I do something very, very simple. I duck into wall standing 2. Very simple. I give no shits. I literally hard read it, and I just wall standing to their face whenever they try to do that. So that they try to do this, and I just do this right here. Can't get away from a tracking move, right? And just launch them like that. So it becomes like a mind game situation of the Yoshi player sometimes trying this to avoid your punishment, or you sometimes punishing it. So this is the right way to usually go about dealing with forward forward 4, so the Yoshi player does not spam it. Because it's a strong move. It is a very strong move. You do not want the Yoshi player spamming this. So deal with it accordingly. What if you're trying to use a hop kick? Does it track? I think it depends on the hop kick. I can't talk about all hop kicks, because I think some hop kicks might track one side, not track the other side. It depends. But since we're talking about Kazuya, Kazuya doesn't really have a good option. Unless you do back 4 and down 4 too, but the reward is less. What if you use 12 frame low? There are high, low crushing options as well. I think there's a jump he has. There you go, to 3. Something like this. So if you use the low, like that, there's also a low crushing option. So you're risking that too. Of course it will work, but it's not worth it. Okay. Well, let's talk about forward forward 4. This is very important. You have to look out for this move as well. This move right now is very good. So in the neutral and this kind of range, you should be expecting this move to come out. Good Yoshi players will use it, because it's very good. Ever since the latest buff, it is launcher, counter launch, it's safe, -7, it's fast, 18, and it sometimes tracks you really well depending on how the Yoshi player uses it. But of course, it is steppable. The main weakness it has is that it's steppable, but it has slide tracking. And depending on how far you are, it can be hard to step. But it's easier to step to the left than to the right. You gotta remember that. Oh, in general, against Yoshi, you step the down forward 1 pretty easily. But I feel like his down forward 1, for example, can be stepped to the right a little bit easier than to the left. Right? For down forward 1, stepping left is a little bit more inconsistent, but both sides do work. Especially if your sidestep is good, like if you're playing a female character, your sidestep is mostly good. You can sidestep it pretty easily both sides, like a down forward 1. But he does have good tracking moves like this one. And I think there are some options he has. Like sidestep left, this gets it. But sidestep right, you avoid it. So in general, I think close up, sidestep right can be pretty good. While far away, because of this move, sidestep left can be good. But you have to be careful when it comes to sidestep left, when it comes to this move. Because if you do sidestep it, it will change sides. Right? Now let me try to demonstrate it. Like that. It might change sides, so you have to be ready for it. Sometimes it won't. Most of the time it won't, but it can. Be ready for that. It's mostly close range. Okay. Well, let's talk about... I think it's very important to talk about flash setups as well, right? Let's talk about some of them. I don't know all of them, of course. I'm not like a Yoshi main or something. I don't lab this guy 24/7. But one of the most common ones I know is... I think it's... this into a spinny. How do I spin after it? This into spin. Let me try the move list. So you can do basically while standing down forward 1, 2 into spin. Or it's either that or while standing 1, 2. I don't remember the input precisely, so let's check it out. So down forward 1, 2, there it is. But it might be while standing 1, 2, so let me try to remember it. And that's a very common one. That spin right there. I just mashed, I don't know how I did it. I press down back 1. It's down back 2. It's down back 2. There we go, I found it. So this spin flash. Very common. This spin flash. Why am I pressing back? There you go. Very common setup. And this will catch you if you delay your hit a little bit. Or if you press something a little bit slower than a jab. A jab will beat it if you do it like instantly. But most of the time it will still beat you because of slight hesitation. This is very, very common. Because you think it's your turn, but it's not actually your turn. Very common flash setup there. Be very careful when it comes to that. It works off a wall standing 1-2. Like a 1-2 spin, right? Or down forward 1-2 spin. And the spin is very good to do in that situation, because if you duck, for example, as a Yoshi player, I duck this, right? I duck this. I try to punish it. I can't get interrupted. Because it actually comes out fast. Of course, if I do wall standing 4-4, it's less of a chance, or wall standing 1-2 since it's so fast. But if you do something slow, there's a higher chance of interruption. So that's one of the reasons they do it. It's harder to punish if you do duck it. And of course it sets up this flash setup right there. Gotta be careful when it comes to that. I think this is the most common ones I've seen anyway. Of course there are others, there are a lot of setups. But this is the most common one. Also it's important to know about this move, this 1+2. Very, very important. Is that whenever Yoshi players do this, most of the time they try to continue their offense. But I think one of the best things to do when this gets blocked is try to dick jab it. I think one of the few options that beat it is the spin. Right now I jumped, right? I did the jump. This jump. But that actually does not low crush it. This dick jab kinda counts as a punish. I think they have to do this to avoid it. Because I haven't seen a Yoshi player avoid that dick jab. Unless they do this. It's basically the same kind of situation as with this. You are +6, like when this gets blocked, Kazuya is +6. And it's the same with this move right here. You are +6. And he's back turned. Kinda same kind of situation. If you do 1+2 or back 1-2 and stuff like that, it can work. But what I found to be very consistent is a dick jab to annoy the opponent, and it's also quite safe. It can also work against this, of course. I think he doesn't have enough frames. He does not have enough frames. It can also work against this if you want a little bit safer option. So if he does spin, he won't punish you for a dick jab, you won't have the frames for it. But basically the same kind of situation with this. Exactly the same. Okay. Oh, let's talk about this move. This is a very good Yoshi move, I feel like. This move sets up a lot of things for Yoshi. Down forward 3. So it's basically a mind game. Down forward 3 by itself is -4, which is amazing, right? Very good frames. You can step it, of course, either side. But it's still a very good move for Yoshi players to do. Because it has a follow-up, right? Not only is it -4, it also has a follow-up, which means mental frames. I talk about mental frames a lot in my speed labs, but they're important. So if you get antsy and you press, you get counter hit. And if you get counter hit, this is guaranteed. That will flip you over into not good Oki. You know, flip over is not a fun time. You do not want that. So what to do about this? Sometimes you do have to respect it. Because the funny part is, if he does finish this, you cannot step it. You can't actually move around it. You can do a backdash, of course. But still, it's safe. You can't really punish it either. Isdom, hello. The one thing you can kinda do about it is like do a mini backdash, which I just mentioned. Because it's better than just standing there. If you do a backdash, you also do this if they don't continue and create some space. But let's talk about the options Yoshi has when they don't finish it. So one, you have to know that Yoshi's going down every time this gets used. So Yoshi is crouched. So Yoshi's options are a little bit limited to the full crouch options, but they're still really good. Like for example, Yoshi can't do this into a 1, a jab won't come out. That's a wall standing 1. So common options are either this into full crouch sweep maybe. What's the input for a full crouch sweep? There you go. Because you're standing there like an idiot. I did it slow, but Yoshi players can do it fast. Because they are full crouch. If you're standing there frozen, you may get swept like that. That can't be a thing. That's why I do recommend backdashing. And the other most common option is this. Full crouch down forward forward, which is a move Yoshi players really like. And it's a good move. It's not a bad move at all. Very good. This and full crouch down forward forward. That's why I do recommend backdashing. But if you do backdash and duck, this will also beat that. So no Yoshi's options after this. These are the most common ones. Of course you can also do wall standing 1, you can do wall standing 2 to check you with a mid. Stuff like that. But know that his options are limited to wall standing. Bears exactly. If he does have the no sword stance, how do I no sword stance? I forgot. The mind games are a little bit different when it comes to that. There you go. If he does the same thing, since his full crouch is stronger and no sword stance, it's a little bit scarier. The mind game's a bit scarier. You can still do the 1, which is you know, a little bit less damaging. But the mind game here is either this sweep, which is basically a hell sweep, 20 frame hell sweep, or he can check you with a wall standing 2 or stuff like that. Or of course you can also do up forward 4 because up forward inputs don't really matter when it comes to full crouch. So tracking mid, same kind of frame as a hell sweep to mix you up. Especially at the wall, it can be pretty scary. Oh, and I almost forgot. This move as well. The no sword full crouch sweep. Let's talk about this. This is one of the options he has, of course, after this. He can do that. But backdash will avoid the first hit most of the time. Oh damn. Since I reset, it didn't work. Let me do this first. There we go. Like if you backdash, the first hit will get avoided most of the time. But you have to be very careful when it comes to the second one. If this hits you, 2-1 is guaranteed. So backdash, react into a duck. But be careful. A lot of people think this is launch punishable. And it's not. Not even Kazuya can launch it. Twin piston almost always whiffs. You see that? It's only minus 14. And one thing, I don't think you can low parry it either. Let me try low parrying it. Oh, you can. Never mind. I thought you couldn't. So I guess low parrying is one of the options. If you're playing maybe Josie, Josie will be able to launch it most of the time. Or Jin, for example. Jin will launch it. Raven can launch it. Minus 14 basically. But other than that, for example, Kaz only gets a while staying 4-4 or a while staying 1+2. These two, because Twin Pistons just whiffs. Eliza, yeah, Eliza, Chloe, I think can launch it. Gandryu can launch it. So it's minus 14. If you have a 14 frame or lower launcher, it will work. As long as it reaches. But since we're talking about Kazuya right now, Kazuya's Twin Pistons almost always whiffs. And you cannot punish the first hit by itself. So if you block the first one and try to punish it, you get countered by the second one. But of course you can low pair the second one. Just as we found out. Delay hop can't read. If it does whiff, it works like this, right? If you make it whip, something like that, you can even react to it with a hop kick or anything that low crushes. That can be a good option. But if you block it, you can't jump. You don't have the time to jump. I don't know if you can hop kick, but you can't hop forward 3, for example, as Kazuya. And I doubt you'll be able to hop kick either. I tried manually jumping and that doesn't work either. So be careful about that. Like, no sword stance is very scary because of this move right here. And a lot of Yoshi players also use this to just make you scared a lot. So let's talk about this right here. No sword stance jump, right? This is very common. Yoshi players love doing this. Because it is good to do. It's not bad to do. So this jump sets up a full crouch sweep. Because after this, they're actually ducking. Right? When I mash 1, it's a while standing 1. If I mash 2, it's a while standing 2. Converting for follow-up. So when you see this jump, most players have 2 reactions. Either they try to guess because they know a mix-up is coming, or they mash. Right? Because, you know, they're scared of the mix-up. But there's a very, very important tip about this. This, on the whiff, is basically nothing. Whiff punishing this is very hard. Damn, what the hell? I forgot. When I reset, it's sword stance. So let's do this right here. So when it whiffs, this is very hard to whiff punish. Basically impossible. See that? I even floated there. See that was very fast punish. I did back one too. I would not recommend even trying to whiff punish this. Like this, that move does not have a whiff. It just does not have a whiff. And mashing is a little bit iffy as well, because if you do mash something like, I don't know, a down forward 2, a hop kick or something like that because you're panicking, they will block it and punish you for it. But if you mash something like a high, like a jab, 2, magic 4, stuff like that, as I said, they are full crouch. If you mash something like that, and you're a little bit late, even if you're not late, as I said, it recovers very quickly. You get launched. So basically, the mashing options are that good. Of course, if you mash a mid, you will do that, right? If you do mash a mid. But, as I said, most mids that have good reward are punishable, so it might not be worth it. Second Professor, thanks. Can he low parry instantly? He can. He can. So he can do this into low parry. So if you do a down 4, oh my lord, I almost forget. This into low parry. So if you do a down 4, surprise, surprise, you get low parried, right? Because this recovers very quickly, as I said, very, very quickly. So let's talk about the mix-up after, since mashing is not that good of an option. Of course, you can sometimes mash on the hard read, but it is risky. Let's talk about the options he has. Jump, sweep, right? Of course, you can just guess. Oh my god, I forget. Jump, sweep, you can just guess. You see the jump, oh, a sweep is coming. You duck, you guess, you punish it, right? Of course, it's a hell sweep. But if you guess, of course, it's gonna be harder for you. The one thing you can do is sidestep the sweep. But you gotta remember, it tracks to one side. I think I demonstrated, right? Sidestep left, it actually tracks. You can still step it, well, walk it, but most of the time it will track you. So sidestep it to the right. You see a jump, sidestep right, you didn't punish it. I actually forgot this recover squat trick, that was my bad. You gotta use the mid to punish it. I actually forgot. To punish either forward 4-3 or down 4-1. You can't use an electric. And the mid options he has, some of them will track you, but it's still better than guessing for a hell sweep. Like just ducking. Like sidestepping is better than that. Does the hop kick track that way? You mean this into hop kick, right? This hop kick. The thing is about this hop kick. Right? I'm trying to demonstrate it. This into hop kick. This is the mid mix-up a lot of Yoshi players use. It has absolutely no tracking, range, or anything. This hop kick is really garbage. Like Yoshi's hop kick is really bad. I think even left you can just step it very easily. Like if they use this mid mix-up, you will be able to step both of them. So step right is really good. But the mid options that they can use, of course, are like delayed options that can track your step a little bit, like while standing 1, while standing 2, 1, stuff like that. But even these can't be stepped. Oh my lord. Fucking no sword stance. So jump, See that? Even these can be stepped. If they delay, it's gonna be harder to step, or if you delay your side step, they might track you anyway. But if you react to it properly, even these can be stepped. Now let's check while standing 1, 2, for example. And this is the only thing that will track you. While standing 1 actually has tracking to that side. I didn't remember like 100%, so I just wanted to check it, but it does have tracking to that side. But as I said, it's still better to get than guessing, especially if you just sidestep into a guard. Not to mention while standing 1, 2 is, you know, risky because you can duck it. Just remember. Remember. At the start of the vid, I talked about while standing 1, 2 into spin, right? They can do that after this as well. So something like this can be a thing. Wait. This, jump, 1, 2, spin, flash. Oh, fuck. Jump, 1, 2, spin, flash. There you go. I talked about this. So it's the same kind of thing here. Jump, you step, try to step block. If you block this, you try to punish it, flash hits you. Also a thing. Drag over top 5. Thank you for the follow. Be careful when it comes to that. But as I said, it's not that risky because the mid is not... It's not launcher basically. It won't launch you. Okay, what else? That's usually how to deal with the jump. The usual options anyway. Some good Yoshi players may think of ways to still get you. One of the most easier ways to get the sidestep is full crouch sweep, which I already talked about, right? When there were Yoshis in full crouch, this is a pretty common option. So what I'm talking about is this into this. Right? This will catch your sidestep, of course. Especially if you sidestep into a button, this will counter launch you. If you sidestep into a duck, the mid will catch you a little bit more consistently. But of course, it's very risky for the Yoshi player because if you sidestep a duck correctly, it's very hard for the Yoshi player to hit you. So sidestep right duck beats that. But this will beat it, beat that, and some delay options as well. I mean, Yoshi players are very creative, I think we all know that. They can think of ways to, you know, get you. But these are like the most common options. Okay. Can do the low instantly after the jab? Yes, you can do that low, this low, as long as he's in crouch. So for example, I'm gonna show you some life hacks because if your opponent has a full crouch move, if you do down forward 4-4, you will leave them crouching. Right? Or while saying 4-4. They are crouched. So since they are crouched, they can use moves like this. So you have to look out for them after these kind of moves. Down forward 4-4, they're crouched. While staying 1-4-4, they're crouched. Also forward 4, on block, they're also crouched. Look out for that. Especially for Yoshimitsu players. They love doing the full crouch sweep after those kind of moves. Yoshi players can sometimes do it as well. The annoying long range low from back turn. You mean this one? I talked about this at the start, I think. That when you want to go in, be careful about this move right here. Be very careful about it. Because they are trying to bait you in and then hit you with this. Okay, what else to talk about? Like this stance has a mini mix-up as well. The thing is, this can be seen sometimes, this new move. But the mix-up is a little bit fake. A little bit. If you do panic, you might hard duck. But if you try to react to this, or at least practice yourself to reacting to this, it's not as scary. Because this actually, against Kazuya anyway, it's very risky. Minus 13 TP. Very consistent TP. I think it sometimes can whiff, like this, right? But most of the time it's pretty consistent. Like that. Like those kind of situations don't happen that often. More or less consistent TP, into, you know, good combo. Go to the wall, million damage, right? Just for that low poke. So if you do react to this, you will get a lot of reward. But if you can't react to it, or, you know, just get hit, because sometimes it happens, you're a human. Just remember, Yoshi players +3. You can't do a down forward 1 check, down forward 4 check. You can do some other stuff as well. 8-6 damage from I-13. Yeah, dude. It's Kazuya, man. TP for the win. Gotta love TP. I talked about this. This I think was the most important part that I talked about, 4-4-4, because I see every Yoshi player get away with it for free. Is that the low walkable? This one? This low is usually walkable, but Yoshi players use it in a way that it's very hard to walk. Like, it tracks to his strong side, which is left, right? It says full tracking here. Look at that. And you can walk to the right, but it still tracks a step. See that? But Yoshi players, whenever they use this, it's basically tracking. So be very careful, because you can only walk it. Like that. I didn't mention the step because it's not reliable. Steppable. And yes, it is unparryable. This is a sword. Swords are in general unparryable. And the thing they mix it up with sometimes is this one. But the most reliable way to avoid this mix-up is a backdash, because this mid has very bad range. Damn, the range is actually higher than I thought. What the hell? Way higher than I thought. Wait, let me try to check something. Let me try to remember this move. I might have remembered incorrectly. So I usually do backdash this move. Then backdash duck. But I might have remembered incorrectly. I mixed up with something. But this move in general isn't that scary. Because as I said, if you do react to it, it's not as scary. And I think this move does have a little bit more range than the mid. Yeah, look at that, definitely. It does have a decent range. I mean, it's not that good, but this has more range. I usually try to backdash and duck. I think that's what I meant. Because that's what I usually do against these two. When a Yoshi player does this, I do a backdash duck according to the range. When this will whiff, and this will hit. At least that's what I do. And yeah, let's talk about this move in general anyway. So it is minus 14 on block. I'm trying to electric it. It has very weird block stun. Such a weird block stun. I don't think I can electric this. I can't electric it. The block stun is too weird. It is minus 14. I think Brian can jet upward. I'm not sure if it will whiff or not. Like Lars can forward back to 1 pretty consistently. But it has a follow-up. I think it's a 1, right? Maybe 1 plus 2? 1 plus 2. There you go. So 2, 1 plus 2. This is a follow-up. If you do try to punish it... God damn it. This will hit you. It's not a countered launcher. Yoshi is not a DLC character. If he was DLC, this would be a countered launcher. Trust me. So this will hit you. And just remember, this is launch. Minus 18. Yoshi actually takes a lot of risk, but you cannot step it either way or do anything about it. Block it, launch it. That's what you do about this. So whenever Yoshi player does this, they actually take a lot of risk. Because as I said, it has less range than this. And if they do it instantly, it is launch punishable. And yeah, Monad, exactly, they can't charge it. That was the next thing I was about to say. Wait. Let me try to... There we go. Fuck. So the difference between the charged version and the normal version is that you can interrupt this a little bit more consistently, like that. I think you can even react to this. It's very slow. But they can just try to finish a little bit slower. If they do the maxed out version, you can interrupt it. But the best thing still is to just keep backdashing, because this actually tracks really well as well. See that? Full tracking. But if they do that, they basically don't get the launcher anymore. If they do that in general, like that, without the delay, they won't even get the hit. And just be careful, because they can just choose to end it early. But unless it's fully charged, it's always launch punishable. Always launch punishable unless it's fully charged. So if you do react to the charge up, you can either launch punish it, and I'm pretty sure you can react to the block animation as well. If you pay attention, block animation here is way different. Like, you're forced to crouch a lot of frames, than the block animation this in here. Right? You're actually staggered back, not full crouch. You can tell that the frames aren't that much in your favor. And yeah, you cannot step in. You cannot step in. So if you do react to the charge up, it can be in your favor. So as I said, the Yoshi player takes a lot of risk whenever they do that. I mean, a lot of risk. Because the mid really doesn't give any reward anyway. If you mash, it doesn't counter launch you. It's not that much reward. Okay. What else? The usual mid mix-up that's safe that they go for might be 1-1. Right? At least when I play Yoshi, that's what I do. I mix that up with this. And as I said, whenever Yoshi players do go for this mix-up, it's pretty hard to step. So that's why I usually don't recommend stepping. But I think this in particular is steppable. But as I said, I don't really recommend it. Because one, this is fast. It actually tracks it a little bit to the side. And it's a very inconsistent to step it as well. I've stepped it like once or twice in my life, but as I said, it's not worth it. Like, these things, whenever Yoshi players do this, it's very, very hard to step. Same with this. The 4-hit elbow string lasted plus unblock. Oh, you mean this, right? While standing 1 string. The thing about while standing 1 strings is that he has either this high or while standing 1-1. Both of them are high. What you do is you duck this and do an instant punish. That's what you usually do. It can be hard because sometimes you get clipped. Like, you try to punish this, and try to delay the punch a bit, and you get hit anyway. But you have to punish it quickly. So either punish it quickly enough for your 15 frame launcher, or punish it with something a little bit faster, like while standing 4, or if you have a 13 frame launcher or a 13 frame punish in general, use that. It's a high. And the third one's a high as well, but the third one actually jails if you get hit by the second one. Of course, you can wait for the third one as well, yeah, just like Zoyer said. But if you get hit by the second one, everything else jails. And it's not plus, it looks plus, but it's 0. The last is actually 0, you just force to crouch, which is the disadvantage that you get. Oh, and let's talk about down back 3 as well. So down back 3, it's a decent low poke that Yoshi players have, that actually is a high crushing. Let me check. Try to demonstrate it. I can jab it. And has a mid follow-up that is safe. Right? This is safe. Let's talk about frames here. What you can do here is you have 13 frames whenever you block this to launch it. If you do anything slower than that, like for example you do a 14 frame punish like Jid's while standing 4, not 4, while standing 2, you will get clipped by the mid. But you have 13 frames of time to punish this. Or of course you can just do anything faster than that as well. The only exception to that rule is that when it whiffs. Like when this whiffs, sometimes frames change, and so you can't do while standing 1 anymore. You can't 13 frame anymore. See that? Magically I can't while standing 1. Frames change by literally 1 frame. That's the only exception to that rule. And I think it's the same kind of mind game And it works exactly the same as Kunimitsu spinning lows. Exactly the same. So when I'm talking about Yoshi, it's the same with Kunimitsu. But the annoying part is this and this, right? Sometimes you might get hit by them. Like if I get hit by this, for example, and block this, you actually don't have enough time for a 13 frame as well. You do not. This is very consistent. Do not try to twin piston this. If you have a 12 frame punish, you can do it, but if you don't, you have to do a while standing forward. Armor King, yes, for Armor King, while standing 2 is the best thing that you can do against the string. In general, it's very good. Unless they do just this, you still get a punish, of course, but the counter won't appear. But while standing 2 is still very good. Okay, what else? Or maybe how to deal with these stands. This one right here. Because I see some people get very annoyed when it comes to this. They try to get close, hit something, and they just get clipped. Right? The thing about it is, Yoshi actually has some kind of mind games when it comes to flea stance. And Yoshi players can utilize it really well. One thing you want to do is use a very fast move, as fast as possible. Usually a jab, right? To float him. Something like this can work really well. What the hell? But then becomes some sort of mind game when it comes to that. Right, let's do that. Right? If you do something like down forward 4, you see that? Back 2. Let me try 1+2. These kind of slow moves, you get hit. You just get hit. Even back 1. Look at this shit. Right? Do a jab. Do not do anything else but a jab. If you do anything else, oh shit. Oh shit. Oh, 2 works. Basically, you need a good high for it. Jab is like the most decent option for flea stance. But as I said, they have some mind games to it. Like this, for example. High crushes. Right? They do this. You try to jab it. Surprise, you get high crush. So there are some mind games. You can rage art. I would not recommend the rage art. Wait. I'm gonna show you why I would not recommend the rage art. It's very simple. They have this. That's why I would not recommend it. See that? They have options, basically. That's why jab is like the less riskiest option and stuff like that. I would not recommend the rage art because of that. And not to mention they can just cancel the stance and block it. I'm pretty sure they can just do that too. Can't they spin? Yeah, they can also spin. Spin, spin, spin. They have a lot of options. I would not recommend the rage art. Cancel the flash. I don't think they do that. They don't cancel the flash. What they might do, if you're like frozen and afraid, is they might do a roll, not this. How do I roll? I just did it. Oh my goodness, that looks sick. How would I roll? They might roll and enforce a mix-up. There you go. They might do this and force a mix-up full crouch. They can do that. Just remember, after they roll, they are full crouch. And when I talked about the full crouch mix-ups, like way before when it comes to this jump, right? This jump, not this one. And the other full crouch mixes in general, the same thing applies there. You just do a grab. Yeah, I think that was a hit grab or something like that. You have to hit it to grab it. I forgot how I did it. But he does have that. But the options he has from this stance is a low and this high. And he also has some mids as well. Wait, let me check it. There we go, like this one. Just be careful. As I said, usually just jab it. There are mind games like this will also high crush. Right? You try to jab it at the wrong time. Surprise, right? Surprise. But that's Yoshi in general. Get launched. Just remember, this is -13. Unlike this, the 4-3. I mean, just like this, the 4-3. This is also -13. I think the exception to this is a string. But these are -13. They're slow though, with high crushing. I mean, Yoshi is a very tricky character. Back turn Flea and different. The only difference about back turn Flea is that they can run away faster. And it's a little bit more awkward. Like, they can do this and just run away from me. Or do this and run away from me, for example. But I think jab works just as well. Okay, what else to talk about? They like to use 4-4-3 as well, like 4-4-3 into stance 1+2. But the thing is, this actually just +1, 4-4-3. You can't jab interrupt it. But there comes the 4-4-3 mind game, which good Yoshi players can use. Like 4-4-3, just like that. It is +5 for you. You can of course jab it. But with the stance, it's only -1. And that -1 is for you. So +1 for Yoshi. But a jab or a dick jab is a pretty good option there. But of course, if they predict like hard duty jab or something like that, Yoshi players will be able to like play the mind game and beat you with it. Because they have options. I think this is a high crush option, I'm pretty sure. Never mind, it's not. But he basically has high crush options there. I'm not quite sure what he has. Maybe a flash will beat the jab, but he has options. Nah, it doesn't beat it. Damn, sometimes it beats it. Yeah, be careful when it comes to that, basically. But the jab or a dick jab is pretty good. Oh, that stance. This one, not this one. Fuck. There we go, this one. So, the good thing about this stance. For Yoshi players, this stance is really good. I think this stance is very strong. When the Yoshi player comes up and does this, most people are scared. Because he actually has a very good mix-up. So one is this. This is an unbreakable grab, by the way. You cannot break this grab. Of course, it's a high, just like all grabs. But it's a 35 damaging grab, which is unbreakable. But you go back into neutral. And he also has this. It's like a mix-up that's a counter launcher. Right? Into combo. Whatever the hell. So it's a legit mix-up. Unless you jab him out of it, it's a legit mix-up. But as I said, pressing here is very afraid because this move being a counter launcher. And this move tracks really well too. I don't know if it's actually a tracking move. I don't think I see particles, but it tracks really well. I'm pretty sure we can step it sometimes, like that, but it tracks well. Does the grab track? The grab does not track. It's the same with the mid. But as I said, it's a little bit risky to step that. Damn, what was that? Did that just hit me? Bro, I've never seen that. What the hell? I have never seen that. Learn something new every day. Just get hit. It actually has tracking to the right. What the fuck? Bruh. Yeah, you can step this to the left, I guess. Let's check this as well. Can you step this to the left? No, it has full tracking to the left. There you go. Not full, but yeah. better tracking. There you go. I guess it's still a mix-up. A mix-up's a mix-up. And yeah, it's very good too. It's like -4, becomes -3 sometimes. So this is very strong. And berries, I think you asked, right, if this floor breaks. It does. It does floor break. So it's pretty strong in floor breaks. Okay. What else? The flash is 6 frames fast. Swordless flash is slower with 8 frames but has more range. But that is good to know. Because, you know, when you're -6, they can still flash you and stuff like that. Flash is very strong. When it comes to that, you have to bait it out. So as a Kazuya player, for example, if you do forward 4 on block and you try to check with like a down forward 4, for example, right? Because you're +4, you're checking with the frame trap. It's not a frame trap anymore against Yoshi. So let me do this, try to demonstrate it. Mash flash. Make him block. Mistimed it. This can hit you sometimes. I think it's like wall only, but it can hit you. Be very careful. Because of the pushback, it doesn't work in the neutral, but I'm pretty sure it works at the wall. Let me try to demonstrate it at the wall then. Because I've been hit by that. 100%. There we go. So be very careful about that. Using your plus frames for about forward 4 can be a little bit scary. Okay. So using plus frames, they can mash flash. If you bait it out, of course, one, you can whiff punish it. It's not that good on whiff. If you're fast enough, you can punish it pretty easily. Right? And let me try to block it. Block it! There you go. It's launch punishable and block as well. But the block is very, very uncommon. It's -15. Block it, damn it. Damn. Yeah, block stun's a little bit weird. Electricing is hard. So I would still recommend to usually do a fast punish like back 1-2 or 2-2 as Kazuya stuff, something like that. Because the frames can also change. God damn it! Block! There you go. So it can be from +15 to +12. So that's why I would normally recommend still doing back 1-2 or 2-2 as Kazuya or even with other characters. Because the frames can change. Like when you do your generic down forward 2 to launch it, you might be surprised it won't launch and you're like, it's launch punishable, I didn't launch it. The frames can change, be careful. Launching flash on reaction or in read. I try to do both, but most of the time it's on the read. Most of the time it's on the read, because on the reaction it's way harder to launch. Okay. What else? I guess this move is pretty common as well. Yoshi players like to do this move after a knockdown at the wall. If you try to do a low get up, this will hit you into a launch, right? Into a combo. Talk about Loki? Oh, I will talk about Loki. I'll talk about the wall Loki a little bit later. That's like the biggest thing about Yoshimitsu, I think. So this move is very good because it's +4 for Yoshi. Whenever you block this, which you will most likely block it when you're playing against Yoshi, be careful about pressing. It's +4, and they can also check you with either down forward 1, down forward 2, or this. Right, you mash, surprise launch. Or a down forward 2 will also work there. It will launch you, it will trade. Will I upload this? Yes, YouTube. I upload this Speed Labs on YouTube. So be careful, know that it's plus. And the Yoshi player can do, you know, just pressure you after this. It's just good to know that it's +4, mashing is a little bit iffy. Just know your options. A plus frame mind game for Kazuya basically means you can either mash this if they want to step, you can do this if you want a fast mash or a dick jab, or just backdash and respect it. That's usually what it means. Okay, I guess let's talk about Oki a little bit. I don't know much of Yoshi's Oki, but the one thing, actually the two things that I know about is the wall Oki. Is I just forget the input of the spinning sword. How do I spin my sword? Fuck. The unblockable sword spin, basically. I forgot the input for it. I'm gonna be entirely honest. I'm trying to remember it. So that is one of the options that Yoshi gets after a wall. I'm pretty sure you do an unblockable once. Not that. Wrong unblockable. There we go, this one. There we go. So this is it. But imagine this is the fast one. I don't know how to cancel this. How do I cancel this? Oh, the back. There you go. Found it out. Easy enough. So basically, the wall Loki consists of this. It's a very basic mix-up, basically. This to flip over, right? Something like this. Flip over. And it's basically, you either tech roll or you don't. For tech rolls, something like this will catch you. They do this, this will hit you for free. Basically free 20 damage for the Yoshi player. And sometimes they get guaranteed this as well, sometimes. So be very careful. And the more scarier option, which they sometimes don't go for because also the riskier option, is the full crouch sweep. This one. So basically, they do this to flip you over, do a full crouch sweep, launch you again. Right, let's go back to the wall so I can demonstrate it. Come with me, Yoshimitsu! There we go. So you get hit, this, check roll, boom. Get launched. You can't do anything about that. If you tech roll and the Yoshimitsu player does it correctly, that's a relaunch for the Yoshimitsu player, basically. So you have to guess with your tech rolls. Of course you can hold back, or hold up to get up, but this will still hit you like this in this kind of angle. God damn it, hit it. And they could just flip you over again with some other combo. Right? So what do you do about this? One option is of course stay down so you don't get hit. But one of the better options is a delayed tech roll. If you mess your timing up a little bit, if you delay your tech roll, it might mess up the Yoshi player's timing and make this whiff as well. I don't know if I can demonstrate it. Let me try to. Wait. Let me try to demonstrate that. Turn around. I don't think I can demonstrate it, I'm gonna be honest. It's a little bit of a weird timing. But if you delay your tech roll, sometimes it can work, but it's very hard to do. It's delay tech roll. And most of the time, if you do tech roll, it will hit you. So it's inconsistent. But staying down is one of the easiest options, but of course Yoshi player has an option against that as well, which you will see a lot when you see Yoshi play. Good Yoshis will do it. So they basically do... God damn it. Splat to CD1, CD1 again, you know, that kind of thing. CD1, CD1, CD1. Unless you start tech rolling, this will just hit you and it's like a loop of a mix-up. So basically the mix-up starts again. So imagine this. Fuck, messed up. Imagine this kind of thing. CD1, don't get up. What the fuck? I'm messing up. Why am I messing up a CD1? God damn it. There you go, and then you tech roll. This is still a mix-up. Non-cancelled version. Oh, you mean if you tech roll and they do this, fully this? That's what you mean. Let's check it out. I don't really see Yoshi players use it that much. Fuck. If they never cancel that, you have to know the timing. So if they don't cancel this spin, it's always this slow. They can't cancel it midway. Always this slow. They either cancel it this fast, like this, or it just keeps on going for this much. If you know the timing, like this, just wait for it and punish it. You got to know the timing, right? And it's the same if you stay down. If you stay down, know the timing, hit him with a get up 3 and punish it with that. If they cancel it, it's harder to punish, of course. Okay, now let's talk about the finish, right? What Frank Bear said. If he does this at the wall. This and doing immediately this, right? I'm guessing this is what you mean. Bum, bum, bum. I messed up. Go to the wall. Okay. If he immediately does it, it's not really a thing. I guess if he does a sidestep into it, I'm pretty sure he can step it. I don't even need to check it, I'm pretty sure he can step it. If he does it instantly, it's already stepped to the tech roll. If he does a sidestep into it, it already takes frames. I'm pretty sure he can step it. Let's check it anyway. Like sidestep into this, something like that maybe. Fuck. Why am I fucking up the QCF1? Damn. But this to QCF1. I'm still fucking up. I brain farted. I'm gonna be honest, I brain farted. I didn't know what to do. There we go. Slight step into that. Yeah, nah, it's very easily steppable. Like, finishing this is not really an option for the Yoshi player after that. If you hold back, it might hit you. If you literally hold back or hold up, it might hit you. If they do it instantly. And you won't be able to step it. But if you tech roll, not really. Okay. That's usually what the Oki looks like. Whenever they flip you over, or even if some non-flip over Oki situations, like for example this wall combo right here. God damn it. This one, they might do this after that too. Right? Same thing. Exactly the same situation. The only difference is they cannot do this. They do not have the time for that sweep. The only time that sweep is a thing is when this Oki happens. The CD1 Oki. Right? That's the only time when it happens. Other than that, the other sword spin is the Oki situation. Okay, what else? As I said, if I talk about everything, I'm pretty sure this will be like 8 minutes, but it's called speed lap for a reason. It's like the most common things you will usually see. Usually, anyway. What else? Oh, that's about it, I guess. I can talk about the rage a little bit as well. The thing is, this move, there are setups for it, and it's exactly the same as the rage drive. Let's talk about that a little bit. So something like this into this, the QCF2 has high crushing. You cannot jab this. See that? So some Yoshi players use this move as a high crushing move. Like Magic 4 doesn't work, Electric doesn't work, pure high crush. And it's exactly the same kind of mind game when it comes to Rage Drive, because Rage Drive is basically this move, but it launches. Exactly the same. Back to 2, back to mid. Yeah, when it comes to back to 2 and back to mid, of course the mid is way slower than the high. One thing you can do is fuzzy it. Of course they can also delay it. But most of the time it's not worth ducking. It's really not worth ducking. And one thing I have to say is not a lot of people know, back to 2 is actually punishable. Minus 13. You can't reach it sometimes, like down forward 4-4 doesn't reach. But in some situations when you can't reach it, you can punish it. Like Armor Kick, for example, can shoulder this all the time. I don't know if Fang can shoulder it, but this is punishable. Not everyone can punish it, but it's punishable. Like Kazuya can't punish it most of the time, for example. But that's really good to know too. I think that's it. Don't want to talk about Yoshi for too much. The most important things I more or less covered. More or less anyway. I might have missed some things, but as I said, not a Yoshi player. These are just the things I don't know, come to know about. Yeah, YouTube, thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. See you guys next time.